I'm Eric Clark, and I'm the guest of our weekly coffee huddle that we have each week at 11 a.m. We'll have guest speakers, and then once a week, I try to just talk specifically about the deals that everyone's working on. That is going to be today. So today we're going to discuss the deal opportunities and how we can all participate with each other. Um, this is community. This is your team. This is about collaboration. This is about growth. This is about deal flow transaction. This is about people knowing who you are, what you do, what your needs are, and how we can all work together. So that's why we have this huddle. We'll have as many, two, maybe as few as two, and maybe 30. You never know how many are going to be here. So good morning, all. Jordan, just say hello. Tell us a little bit about who you are, your background, and then I'm going to lay out the format for today. Floor is yours.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, so I'm Jordan Coleman. I help manage Thrive Co-working here in Asheville. I got my license the end of last year in real estate and excited to join Andy and Chris as we try to launch Thrive CRE and get it off the ground. The plan that I know about from Andy is we're targeting a May date for me to be official. My background's in education. I did that for 7 years, and then I did ministry for 7 years as well. So I do everything in cycles of seven. So we'll see how this commercial real estate property management side of things goes for me as I look to get it off the ground. Been married to my wife 15 years, and I have three daughters, and so we're enjoying the Asheville family life, coaching soccer and all the good stuff. So I'm in the middle of that as well.
Your background in real estate, was it in residential or commercial?
I don't have a whole lot of background in real estate. So this is a brand new venture. Just doing the property management side of stuff for Thrive Co-working for the last, coming up on 2 years is the most background I have.
Well, fantastic. You're in a good place for growth, good place for learning. A lot of good contacts on this call. Speaking of one good contact is a favorite Bruin of mine. I know he's happy. Another national championship banner to hang in Poly Pavilion, Rich. That's
How about
cool.
those Lady Bruins, huh?
So, I didn't realize it was their first national championship.
Me neither. That was awesome. They smacked them down too, pretty good.
Sure did. Tonight's going to be a thriller. Michigan just looks awfully strong.
Yeah.
They
Tough to bet
do.
against them tonight.
But coaching's on the UConn side. If it's close, it's going to go to UConn.
We'll be tuned in tonight, right?
Man, he's really wired. All right. So today, here's what we're going to do. Love having this group on here. Today, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about just a roundtable discussions. Let me talk to you about your pipeline. All right. Everybody think about your pipeline. What you're sitting on could exactly be what somebody else needs. You got to realize that. In real estate, you got to see yourself as a facilitator, an architect of opportunity, and a trusted advisor. Those three things are key. But what you're sitting on could be what somebody else is looking for. So deals don't close in isolation. They close through collaboration. So today is what we're going to talk about. All right. So a roundtable discussion this morning. Rich, I'm going to start with you. And then Andy, you're going to follow Greg. Christina, you're going to follow Andy. Michael,
Okay.
you're going to follow Christina. All right. And then Jordan, I'm going to let you bring up the rear. So here's what you're going to discuss. What deal right now are you actively working on? Don't give me 5 minutes worth. Let's just have an overview of something. It can be a couple things you're working on. Let's start from there. Who was first?
I think
Was it?
you have me batting lead off, Eric. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're a good lead off.
So I'm working on a deal. It's now in its 14th month that I've been working on this deal. It's a very highly distressed asset, 600 plus units in Texas. My client has been on it from the get-go. It's lender owned, and I guess I can say this in this forum. It's a shit show. So we've been working on it really hard for the last 14 months, going back and forth, but it's very complicated because the lender wants to try to resell the loan to Wall Street, yet it really isn't in any kind of condition for that loan to do that. So we've got a lot of hurdles to jump on this one, but that's what I'm working on right now.
Is it multifamily?
Yes, sir.
What part of Texas?
I'd rather not say.
Okay.
If I tell you how many units in what city, you'll know exactly the property. So, and obviously, when you're in this part of it where you're not even under contract, I really don't want to get that out, but I want to obviously help with the conversation.
What's the value needed to take it off the books? Round
So
number.
we're north of 30 million, but there's some discrepancies in terms of the CapEx requirement because of some of the issues on the property. So we had negotiated price, but now we're going back and forth and for a haircut on it because it's a mess.
Okay. All right. I want to talk to you about this. Who's next? I gave instructions. Somebody didn't listen when they were supposed to be next. Who's supposed to go next? Let's just go. Michael, take the floor. What do you got?
So we're actually working on a marina, 35-slip marina, Lebanon, Maine, and the southern Maine, New Hampshire border. Listed at 2.65 million. It's an 11 cap on NOI. Has full financials, owner add backs, all that stuff is available on an NDA. So we have interest in it, which is good. But always more interest is probably better, right? So it's also is a beautiful home. So it's a lifestyle type of property slash an investment property that could run someone knew how to run it or wanted to run it as an absentee, I suppose, as an investor.
And by the way, I'm trying to get some feedback for us.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Eric. I saw that. Very, very
I've
good.
asked for that. I think
Mm.
feedback's really important. All right. So I'll try to
Yeah.
get that to you.
Yep. Terrific. That's one thing that's actively being marketed right now. We've got in the process of a business brokerage two salt day spas in Charlotte area. One and not huge offerings, not I mean two locations, probably trading at about 2.25 times. Owner discretionary income is probably it's $100,000 sale, more or less. It's not, but they do run with part-time employees, kind of hands off. So that's in the works. We've working on putting together a package on that right now. Owner operator wants to get out of it. I mean, for commercial stuff, I think there's things that are in quote unquote the pipeline we haven't actually secured things on, but there's other things that we're always talking to people, like you said, trying to keep our pipeline going. And I still run a residential team, so that's stuff going on that side too.
So Andy Christensen, you and Jordan, you all may know some people in Charlotte who might want to jump on a spa opportunity. You might want to reach out to
Mm.
Michael and get some information.
Mhm.
A lot of what we do is fishing. You learn about
Mhm.
something and you put it out there and see if you get a bite.
That's right.
And so this collaborating, you may be the facilitator. That's why we're
Mhm.
here. Greg, anything you want to share with us that we might have importance?
I'm working on a longtime client's fourth house I've done for her since 2002. She bought a house in Brookhaven in a very nice neighborhood. It was built in 1981, probably cost $300,000. Now it's worth $2 million. 4 floors for her son and daughter-in-law who just had a baby. So she's high maintenance, high pressure. Are you done yet? So, but it pays well. So that's good. And I like this neighborhood. I like the realtor. There are a lot of houses that I did, gosh, in there back in the 90s that are now in, $2 million and up. So yeah, I'm trying to get my foot in the door, back in the door in that neighborhood. So that's occupying most of my time this month. And that's what I have right now.
So for the group, Greg does architect work. So if you needed
Yeah.
somebody with architect work, you can reach out to him and he can give you support in that effort. Christina, tell us, the floor is yours. What's exciting South?
I want to ask the architectural where is he?
Greg is in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh,
Atlanta.
okay, okay,
I do commercial and residential. Trying to do
okay.
more commercial these days.
I will that in account.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I will to the new that I don't know. My name is Cristina Sanchez. I am in Mexico City, where I has been working during like 15 years real estate. I have started with flipping business and with foreclosures. And now I specialize in condo hotels because I think that they are excellent opportunities for investment. In Mexico, Cancun has grown during the last 30 years, almost like 12% per year. So your property is secure to have always appreciation. Yeah. So I have found this like a very good units. Yeah, because you are owner of a hotel in front of the beach. Yeah.
Cool.
I work with 3 different hotels. The starting price is about $230,000, so it's very affordable. And also, I work with here in Mexico. There's a company that's here Casa, which offer financial mortgage for Americans and Canadians. Yeah, the interest rate is very interesting because it's about the 7%. So actually, you only in the 3 developments you only need to make the down, that is the 40%, and after when the hotel's property will pay by itself. So they are very good business. Actually, I am owner of one, and I am planning to buy another one because you need only the down payment. Yeah, and after when the hotel is working, they will pay itself. I will left my email, and every Thursday I make a conference where I explain where they are, and also there are hotels that international brands. So I always say my clients that it's like buying a McDonald's. Yeah, you are buying something that will be working during many years. Yeah, because the hotels normally the history of the hotels are very long, so you are buying something that is like worry-free property. I will leave my email here. If anyone wants to attend next Thursday the conference, you are more than welcome. And this is affordable because, as I told you, they start in $230,000 and up to 5 million, yeah, of dollars. We have a very different range of prices, but always you have a property that will manage by itself, and they are really good business because they have like a ROI about return of investment about the 10%. So you are buying something that it works by itself. You don't have to worry, and they will pay you the returns.
Fantastic. I have an idea. Andy, you know, you all could put up in all of your locations some type of marketing materials for her assets. I'm sure you've got clients in the Thrive locations who like to have a go-to destination. If they buy one, you get to participate in the deal.
Mm.
That could be something worth thinking about and talking about and having a conversation with Chris and Ramon and see if that could fit into your model. But why not, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
And then you
Um,
have to go visit the properties. That's a needed adventure, especially if it's at the beach.
yeah, so you all need to exchange information, have that conversation. But I mean, I'm just thinking in all your locations, you got a bulletin board up somewhere, right? Or near where the service desk and the tea and the water and the drinks are, and you're marketing her product. Wow, you get a referral. That do a couple of those every year. It's a good thing, right? Yeah.
And
Andy,
Jordan up
talk to
there in
us.
Asheville,
Why don't the floor, Andy, share with us what you're looking for and transition here.
thank you. Yeah, and I was just going to segue to, well, Jordan will come on at the end, but Jordan up there in Asheville, North Carolina, a lot of money up there, a lot of old money, new money. That could be a hotbed for something like that. Good investments that people can get tapped into. And Jordan, you can make some money on that. So I'm Andy Christensen. Good morning. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, actually Alpharetta, if you've ever heard of it. And we are Thrive Co-working is our base business. I run Thrive Commercial, which really helps us take our licensing model of our proven co-working facilities. We have 20 in either built or in process right now in 5 states, and they're all full to waiting lists if they're over 4 years old. So the model really works. The ask today, or the offer, would be we are looking in the Southeast primarily for historic small towns that need a boost. And you put 300 to 400 coworkers in a town and it starts to fuel everything. And that's really our success story, is the historic small towns. And if you've got something like that, a city manager, a developer, family office, we'll get you in on the deal. And sky's the limit. We've got a national builder. We can scale these as fast as we can find them. And I put my information in the chat.
Tell us about the idea footprint for a Thrive location, what that looks
Yeah, a
like.
great example right now. There's a small, this happens a fair amount. There's a small town, I won't say the name yet, but we're under a contract with them. 9,000 square feet is this pad of property that we would be building on. It's a little bigger than that, but the property would be 9. First floor is going to have a coffee shop, right? It's going to have some co-working, high vibe, community manager, knows everybody's name, and they welcome you in and they just make that place or break that place. It's like a Chick-fil-A compared to a McDonald's, the way we build these and the way we staff them. And then the second floor is all co-working, meeting rooms. And then this particular property will have a rooftop bar where people can do all kinds of events, and just great commerce happens, startups, early growth companies. We've got a fair number of enterprise companies that come in where they need 20 people to be in an office. It's just vibrant, man. So if you know a small town or a class A or needs help, we come in and we bring the vibe. I don't know how else to put it. How'd I do, Eric? Does that make sense?
You're getting better all the time. That's scary.
Good.
Jordan, you want to follow in?
So, like I said a little bit in the intro, so I'm here in Asheville. I'm managing our Thrive Co-working Asheville location. We're probably just a little south, 13,000 square feet in this location. Most of our locations are around 20. So it's one of our smaller ones, but we're maxing out. I've been building relationships with our 62 businesses that office out of us. And then, so in my pipeline, it's still very fresh because, officially I'm not brokered under Thrive CRE yet. So I'm priming it, but I haven't gone full-fledged into it yet. But I've had coffee with the mayor of a small town outside of Asheville a little bit. It's called Canton, North Carolina. They closed down a paper mill there. And so there's a lot of development opportunity happening because that paper mill took up a lot of square footage, has a beautiful panoramic view in the mountains, and the paper mill was stinky. So now that that's gone, the town's set to potentially explode. So I'll be priming that relationship and seeing what we can do. And then last week, I had a real estate investor out of Raleigh, Durham area, which is where I was for 13 years, who officed here at Thrive that I met. And he said, hey, come have lunch on me sometime in Durham and we could talk about investment opportunities. He mostly does investment, Christina, in apartments, not necessarily condos, but that might be something. He said he's looking to grow his portfolio and invest in something outside of apartment complexes. So that relationship was made. And I'm just going to be priming that network and see what happens.
Thank you all for sharing. So let's hit the pause button and go back to everything just shared. Rich, I'm going to let you take the floor again first because you talked about the next point. Where are you stuck? Where's the gap? So as each of you just kind of shared what you're working on or what you're looking for, what's the hurdle? What's the obstacle? Where might you be stuck? Let's talk about it. Anybody, but Rich, I'll let you go first.
Well, my issue is financing. It's a lender-owned deal, and the lender wants to provide the financing. The only way the deal makes sense is for the lender to provide 100% financing. There's maybe 8 to 10 million in CapEx required. That's what my client would bring in as his skin in the game. And the issue has been that this lender wants very specific loan documents so that it can resell the loan on Wall Street. But we're like, you can't do that until the property stabilized, which is at least 2 years away. And we're really frustrated because they're saying to us that they'll sell it at the price that we've agreed upon, but that we have to get our own financing. And then that just isn't going to make sense for us because no one's going to 100% finance the existing structure, especially in the condition that it's in. So we're going back and forth on that. Unfortunately, deal this size has attorneys involved, and attorneys, they're generally not deal makers, but in this particular instance, the instructions from my client's attorney is get a deal done. But obviously, when you get resistance from the sell side, it makes it challenging. So look, I mean, these big risks, but big rewards. So that's why I'm working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, something I've been doing the last 4 or 5 months and talking to a lot of family office managers. I ask them, you know, do you have any distressed properties? Do you know of any distressed properties that you'd be interested in? Are you interested in distressed properties? And then when you're talking to people who are investors, you ask them the same questions. And now all of a sudden you can be that facilitator. And that's what you're doing, Rich. You're just trying to bring it together.
Yeah, and there's actually a lot of hidden distress. We're not seeing distress that we normally saw back in the 2000s, because, once the Dodd-Frank legislation passed back in 2010, the minute you default on your loan, you are distressed. And so what investors are doing in this go around is they're actually instructing their property management, asset management people, pay the loan. You do pay the loan. And then you use whatever money's left over for operations. And what's happening is the vacancies are increasing, the maintenance is getting worse, but they're below. So they're not on anybody's radar, but that is just a different form of distress. And identifying these properties is very, very challenging because it just doesn't show up on anybody's radar.
Yeah, yeah, good point. Who else has got a hurdle or obstacle to something you're working right now? You just want to throw it out there and have a conversation.
I'll say one thing about the stressed properties is they can cost a lot more than you think to fix them up and bring them up to code, especially with the new energy code. But that's the service we provide, is kind of evaluating, go through and inspect the building and try to establish its existing condition and what it would take to get it up to speed, up to code. Because we've seen a lot of cost overruns doing that. So while a building that's 100 years old, and there is no insulation, there was no structural engineer. And so you can really get into it.
That's a good point. You're discovering what you, and you got to learn that. Anybody else? Hurdle, obstacle, something you're working? All right, let's transition. What are you seeing in the marketplace right now? I'll share first. First of the year, up until 3 weeks ago, I saw a lot more requests for quotes than I had seen in quite a while. And I began to see LOIs and PSAs be submitted. The last couple, 2, 3 weeks, it's got a little quieter. And I think that's probably just as a result of what's taking place geopolitically in the Middle East. But what are you all seeing in your markets? If you want to talk about it, positives, negatives, what do you got,
Uh,
Christina?
I just want to comment to Rich. Like last year, I was involved in one project in California, and it was also the renovation of our old building. Yeah, it was old building to renovate and to find who can make their like a long period taking place like a good business. And nowadays, I have found that all the health services, generally in all United States, has grown a lot, and they are like a not only health business but new like a like not gym, but some combination between gym and health services, like these physiotherapist uh, models. So perhaps because I think that by the Mexico and United States, now the population starts to be older. Yeah, so all this health business related, like a gym therapist, and all there are some points that nobody is looking, but the market will demand. Well, it's not only a comment.
All right. Rich, do you have any comment to that?
Well, it's a niche. It's just, but Christine, it's not my niche. That's not the product type that I work with. But I agree with you. And as fact, as a member of that older community now, baby boomers now are starting to hit their 80s. So if you work in that senior market or in that health field, any of senior assisted housing, independent living, or assisted living, that's a huge market segment. It's just not a market segment that I work.
All right. Let's let's go in this direction. Who's somebody you're trying to source right now? Somebody you're trying to get in front of right now? Hearing from Rich, obviously he's looking for some capital markets and some private equity people would come in, but anybody else, who are you looking to get in front of? I'll give you one I've got right now. I didn't think about this till just now. This is why we do this call, but I know of a $122 million tax credit that is tied to the energy sector right now. And if you know somebody who's in the energy sector and they may be a very ready, willing, and able buyer for such a credit. It will reduce their tax basis. So that's something that's just come across my desk. I'm looking. Why are you smiling?
Send it my way, my friend. I have the same client that I'm working on this San Antonio deal actually has multiple asset classes, and he's very active in the energy sector. He asks me for this, and I'm like, it's not what I do. But now I have my friend and my fellow Bruin across the country who may have an energy sector deal, and I'd love to put it in front of him.
Right. Well, it's based out of Dallas. So even better. Okay, great. Anybody else? Who else are you looking for? Something you're trying to get in front of? Share with us. Somebody in this group may know somebody you need to know or give you an idea of who you can call.
Hey, Andy, this is Carson. Sorry, I've been driving. I sent your
No,
info
no, no,
over.
no, Carson. You've
Oh,
got to be on the screen, buddy.
hey, man, you're cool. Andy, I sent you some properties in downtown Kingsport. They're historical. They're really nice on the inside. A friend of mine is selling them, going through a divorce,
Okay.
and all that. So
Thank you.
it's a good small town. 50,000, has stable employment with gosh, what's that big manufacturer? I mean, it's like a Fortune 300 company up there, not going anywhere. So sent the package
Yeah.
on there. Check your spam if you don't see it in your inbox. It's from Carson at passive.investments. So anyway,
Thank you. I'll check it
yeah.
out. Thank you, Carson.
Carson, what are you working on right now? Something you might need.
I don't know. I just need people to say yes and owners to be reasonable, on pricing. People are wanting way too much, in my opinion. It's not within striking distance. I have a friend with properties down in Louisiana. I can sell him if he'll get reasonable about it. And he knows he's a syndicator. He knows he's being unreasonable. So I said, well, you're not ready yet, man. We can sell these. And,
That's right.
anyway, it's just a tough game. So, but yeah, just waiting for transactions to start popping again. So,
Anybody else? Somebody you need to get in front of, somebody you need to meet, someone you want to talk to.
You mentioned
Something-
one thing that's a little bit it's kind of a side subject in as far as businesses and commercial real estate goes, but my son and I we do, as you know, Eric, a lot of AI automations, and so we're looking to talk with almost any other businesses that really want to have like an AI audit, understand what automations can do for them, not necessarily real estate agents or commercial agents, but even if you have business owners. My son Ben, we've built automations now for everything from multi-location dog trainers to large roofing companies to chiropractic, and so which can indirectly help them prepare for sale. That's been a couple of our things we're doing, is like because they have to get their stuff together, so let's just say, right, before they sell a business. And so it's worked out very well because anybody knows my son Ben is he's working with some people in our group, right, to build some automation and some things. And that's something, if anybody has any clients in the business space that know they should be using AI but don't know where to start with it, that's something that we'd love to get in front of. And we try to find a way to make everybody benefit from that relationship if it develops.
The first time I met Michael, he and his son were doing a presentation, I think, in Nashville. It was fantastic. I tell you what, Michael, let's circle the calendar and maybe in about 2 weeks, have you all as our guest speaker. And
100%.
let's, come back to that and let's feature that and take the first 15, 20 minutes of the show,
Yeah.
just like we've done with Tom and Jim and
Yeah.
others.
I mean, the things I'm doing right now with Cloud Cowork and the automations and the SOPs, it's 5 to 10 hours a week. I've replaced one full-time VA and probably a half a time full-time VA completely. Unfortunate for them, but what can I do? I mean, literally have replaced what they were doing to help run my team with this, because just running my computer. Once your AI can control your computer and it does it in a way that's reliable and predictable, it's like giving AI a body, arms and hands and legs. It's crazy. So.
All right,
Cool stuff. But and I would focus it on basically on what we could be doing every day. I think it's very valuable. About how I've structured my co-work. And that presentation I sent you, Eric, right, on the Marina, looked pretty good, right?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Okay, that is from a co-work production of basically just all the research thrown in there with best practices, and it literally knocks it out. That was a time I had all the data research. That's a 10-minute output. And it generates the questions to ask the client that when it finds the inconsistencies, employer salary didn't quite match this year, what was going on there? It's like, whoa, it's crazy. So,
all right,
yes.
we're we're going to bring you back and give you the
Just-
whole hour. Okay. We'll talk about
100%.
it.
Just give me a thumbs up whenever you want me to do it. Give me an hour's
Shoot.
notice and I can be
We'll
ready.
shoot for about 2 weeks.
It's good. Yeah. And I have to hop off and prepare for another call. So I appreciate everybody coming on this morning. And
Oh,
seeing
no,
you.
it's great to see you. Thank you.
You're welcome,
So
Eric.
let me say this to you as we're wrapping up and get this. If you keep to yourself about the opportunities you're working, your probability of closing is smaller. You can't do that. You've got to be out there. That's why we do these calls. We do these calls for multiple reasons, but one reason is to create more deal flow. I've got a couple checkpoints off this conversation that I'm going to follow up on immediately. So, learn the people who are on this call, know who they are, and they need to know who you are and what you do. That's important. You need to connect. That's why we're here. And Christina, one of the things you do beautifully is you're connecting to everybody, and that persistence will pay. That truly will. I want to. I've got it circled. I want to talk to Andy. I really want to come back to you guys using the opportunity of all your. When you got, how many thousands of members do you have, Andy?
5,000. Am I off mute?
Okay.
Yeah, 5,000.
Somebody's got to be looking for a place in Mexico, right? So there's just lots of ways that we can create energies and synergies together. So,
Andy, please, can you write down your contact details? Also, Jordan. So normally I give the conference Thursdays, but if you cannot, by any reason, and you're interested, we can fix another time that works for you. Okay?
Christina, it's in chat if you can see it.
Thank you.
I'll connect you by
Thank you.
email as well. So, all right, that's all I got. So, who's picking who tonight in the NCAA men's? Who thinks Michigan takes it? Hands, Rich, Jordan. I think. Oh, Andy. Wow, I'm thinking Michigan too.
The way they rolled Arizona, they look really good.
Wow. Yeah.
And they have that former Bruin at the center spot who just killed the other night. So,
Carson, who do you think's going to take it? I saw you raise your hand. Oh, maybe he's gone quiet. All right, listen, everybody have a great week. Feel free to reach out anytime. And it's a pleasure to see each of you. Thank you for being here.